Yeah, like John said earlier, first comment of the show, it's really exciting going into a season when a national title is you got a shot. This team has a shot. I don't want obviously I might be hyping up Fernando Mendoza a little too much. I think he's going to be for sure an upgrade over Curtis Rourke. I think this team's going to take a step up in a lot of other rooms as well. National title is not ruled out. We might be. Obviously, I've mentioned before, being a few years away, you got to stack years to eventually get there. I mean, chips may fall where they may. It's obviously going to come down to how actually good Mendoza is. But I mean, I'm expecting to be back in the playoff next year, or this upcoming year. Is all I'm going to say.
No, me too. And the guys in the room are too. And jumping to Tyrique Tucker's press conference. This was really the first time I'd heard him speak. I know he flashed a little bit at times last year, but obviously, given the guys they had specifically on the defensive line, you probably weren't going to get a presser from him. But now, given the fact that his role is probably increased this year, we're going to hear from him more. They asked him what he felt like he learned from James Carpenter. He said, talked about being a leader, leading by example. And he really talked about how he and CJ set the standard. You're talking about James Carpenter, who is an awesome college player, maximizing all of his physical gifts and being the best version of himself, regardless of he wasn't going to be a first, second, third round pick, right? Versus then you have a guy like CJ West, who's going to be a day 2 pick and be disappointed if he doesn't get drafted. And to sort of be able to learn and watch both of those guys work has to be extremely beneficial for a guy like Tyrique Tucker.
Yeah, I mean, he was a PFF grade darling last year as our backup nose. I have him slotted in to start over Dominique Radcliffe, where a lot of people have. Obviously, with D-line, it's all about playable depth. You need a true two deep, and they're all going to get a similar amount of snaps. So it's important to just have that 2 deep specifically at that position. So at the end of the day, a starter doesn't matter. But I think Tyrique Tucker is going to be a big time piece for this team. He made a lot of plays. He had that tip ball in that try 5, get 6 play against Washington. People forget Tyrique Tucker made that play. He hit Will Rogers and made that ball go right to D'Angelo Pons. And he's a true playmaker, makes things happen. There's a reason why he has that high PFF grade. I'm expecting a big jump from him. Another JMU guy that should be stepping up.
They asked him about his confidence level going into this year. He said, I know I can do it in the Big Ten. Again, another guy speaking confidently. And he went on to talk about what is he looking to improve. He talked about the offseason being craft season with him and Mikal Kamara. They'd go and work and trusting the process. They asked him what it the transfers and what they're bringing to the table. He said night and day from last year. He said he feels like we have it in the room. Talked about Jose Wheeler and Ratcliffe and Mario Landino. He also mentioned night and day.
That's the quote. Wow.
And he mentioned I think, is it Jamari Monet?
Yeah, Jamari Monet.
Yeah, Monet. He mentioned Monet as well.
All right.
He got the mention.
Yeah. He's third. I mean, if that could figure a way to get snaps, that's just more depth at the D tackle position where you already have Tucker, Wheeler, Burris, and Ratcliffe. I mean, the D tackle spot looks so solid. It's really the edge that really seems to be the biggest concern in terms of playable depth right now. And we're expecting Ndukwe to kind of fill into that third, DN role. So who's going to be that fourth is really the question. And whether that's on campus right now or going to be in the portal in spring, we'll figure that out. But, I mean, very encouraging words, night and day. I thought our D-line was sick last year. Night and day? As in we're better? That's very encouraging considering I was expecting hopefully we can maintain the same level of play at the D-line spot. To hear that we might be taking a jump is all the more encouraging.
I think that I can't remember what the question was that led into this. I think it said how did the unit grow or how are they going to replace CJ West or whatever the question was. And this was Tyrique Tucker's response. He said, I have worked and worked and worked. I don't want to let that go to waste.
100%. Okay, John makes a good point. West wasn't there last spring. So if he's talking about last spring, then maybe that might be what he's saying anyways. But yeah, with Tyrique Tucker, I mean, the guy clearly being at JMU probably wasn't the most recruited guy ever. Clearly, Signetti saw something in him to obviously A, bring him into James Madison, and then B, bring him along to the Big Ten in Indiana. Like, it's not like he brought in every single James Madison guy. He brought in 13 guys that he knew could play at the Big Ten level because he's coached at the Power 2 level. He recruited at Bama when he built the Nick Saban, dynasty to start.
Quick sidebar and reminder about that. What something casual that happened last week too is just Julio Jones retiring and thanking Curt Signetti by name. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. Side note. Just quick little sidebar. Yeah, I mean, we knew, he's big reason Dante Hightower, Mark Ingram, and Julio Jones all went to Bama and won that first title for Nick Saban. So yeah, go figure. But yeah, I mean, Tyrique Tucker, that's the type of guy you want in the D line. A guy with nothing to lose. A guy who's just going to give it his all every snap, and he's going to have with the depth that we have. He's going to have plenty of breathers to give it his all every snap. So I just can't wait to see him make more plays this year because he kind of has that where it's like, oh, Tyrique Tucker was involved in that. Oh, there's Tyrique Tucker again. It's just kind of like, oh, that's our backup nose. He kind of seems to just find a way to impact the game despite getting second string snaps, which is crazy. But yeah, same, Abel. I thought Julio Jones retired 3 years ago as well.
Is it another one of those, like, think about who is the quote unquote like the backup line last year? Guys like Tyrique Tucker, Mario Landino, like these guys are going to be high level contributors for this team this year. It's not an accident they were getting on the field last year.
100%.